Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Camera Tuesday, we're going to talk about DJI Avata FPV drone. So let's dive right into it. Now this DJI Avata is basically first person viewer Cineva Whoop drone. What does that mean? That simply means the propeller have a propeller guard, meaning it can be close to humans or objects, meaning you're gonna see a lot of people showing off that this drone can fly between the legs. Now you may be like, aren't drone propellers are basically plastic? Yes, they are plastic, but here's the deal. If they are large enough diameter and they are spinning fast enough, bye leg if it crashes to your leg. So this is one thing that you have to understand. If you are around people, you have to take safety seriously. So having this sort of blade guard makes both of them safe, meaning people around you, people, animal, birds, things of that nature, and the drone itself, because if drone hits something, the probability of it surviving that is very high. That's why this sort of drones are preferred. Now this allows very close by flying to like objects, humans and all that jazz, and it's $630 around. Now be mindful, that's just the drone, meaning if you do not have investment in DJI ecosystem of drones, you will be stuck. So but thankfully DJI did not lock this puppy in, meaning it has backwards compatibility, meaning if you have old variant like DJI version 2 headset, you can use that. If you have old controller, you can use that. So it's a really good system. They're not bottlenecking the system. It's like, oh, you have to buy the latest and greatest all the time. It's like, no, we get it, because these things are expensive. So if you have this, use it as long as you are happy with it. Use it, enjoy the drone. So and this is almost like a ecosystem launch, where it's not just the drone is the interesting part, but there are other things also launched with this. So what if you want to buy the whole kit, and if you are like starting out fresh, you have to spend around $1,400. You will get drone, you will get controller and goggle too, which is not this version 2. It's a different goggles, and it's aimed for amateurs and intermediate user, because you have to understand first person system kind of first FPV drones, they are a completely different ecosystem. And whenever you look at FPV drones, it always looks like a Frankenstein monster, because it's inherently almost a niche kind of environment where everybody builds their own system, and it's very fast, meaning around 200 km per hour kind of fast, like idiotically fast, and it's as light as possible. The reason for that is otherwise it will not be agile. If you are traveling at very high speed, and if you are not light enough, even if your drone starts to rotate in counter wind direction, it will simply not do anything. Inertia will keep, bam, smash into things. So for that reason, FPV drones are as light as possible. Consequence, when you make it as light as possible, the battery becomes small. Consequence of that, the runtime is very late. Now company is claiming 18 minutes, with realistically you will only get 12 minutes, because it will trigger return to home once it detects the battery is low enough. So practically always have a training that you are only going to use it for 10 minutes. Now you may say like, wait a minute, 10 minutes, isn't that very low? Well, it is low for a drone that is for cinema purposes, but it is not low if you are talking about FPV. In FPV term, that's like, damn, that's good. So that's why it's targeted more of in between those things. So basically, if you have no idea about drones, this is something that you can start. If you have some idea about drone, but you get overwhelmed with like, strict driving things, use it into this. So it's targeted for those sort of audience, not for like hardcore FPV drone racers. No, it's not for that. So controller was also released with this. Now this is a motion controller for beginning pilots, because they understand this, like stick controlling things, it's very difficult unless you are in the ecosystem of RC control planes and have already practiced with drones. It's very difficult to do. So common people will not choose it unless you have like something intermediary, meaning the controller has a AI in itself, where it's fine-tuning the data, and then the drone is processing based on its sensor data. Then it's like, okay, I'm gonna accept it or not accept, reject it. So it's not suitable for beginners. So having a motion control system is very intuitive, meaning you're like, okay, left, right, left. You don't have to do this. This is the most common thing. Potato Jet is also talking about that. It's like everybody's like doing this. No, you don't. You just have to do this. It's almost similar how when you go into simulation driving, you always oversteer everything. You don't need to. So it's a very good system for beginners, and it also has emergency braking, meaning again it was always there. It's just the drone is designed in such a way, okay, that's the whole point. Emergency brake will not work if the drone was heavy. If it had bigger battery, this emergency brake will simply not work. So you have to have light drone for that, and compatible with other DJI drone also, because again it's an ecosystem system. So that's the controller for, you will get most of the time. If you do not buy the lowest end hardware, you will get this. Now goggles. Now this is the very interesting launch, but it has the worst naming convention ever, because its name is DJI Goggles 2. Now here's the problem. There is another goggle that is DJI FPV Goggles version 2. I genuinely have no idea who came up with this naming convention, but it is bad. Now you have to understand, DJI is not a company known for like latest and greatest in terms of technology, but it's a company known for actually listening to the people. Like DJI mic is not wow better compared to like Rode, but they have listened to all the critics of Rode, and they're like, okay, we're gonna fix the bugs. So because you have to understand, making a thing is child's play. Making a thing that does not hurt your head, that's the expensive part. So they literally took feedback from version 2, and they're like, okay, what's the most common feedback? Common feedback is like, oh, this is big. It's big, it's heavy, it's bulky, it's straining your neck. Okay, make it as compact, as lightweight as possible. Almost 50% the weight and very compact, as you can see. It's like, it's not that big. And you want that, like in the end we want like very small, like almost like a glasses, but we are not there yet, but this is very close to it. So that's awesome. And it has better optics and diopter adjustment, meaning DJI always knew for a fact that not every human has like exactly this distance is not the same. You look at their old drones, they will always had the ability in the glasses to adjust legs. Awesome. But here they did not have diopter adjustment. This time they have added that, because again, if you have glasses, having glasses and then this, it's very difficult to do. Like physically it's very difficult to do. So diopter adjustment, and like a lot of range in diopter adjustment, so you can drive this system without having to wear glasses. So meaning you pull out your glasses, you put this, adjust it, awesome, go. So usability, that's the whole aspect of it. It's about usability. It also has head tracking, meaning if you are locking your FPV drone and you want to look around, you can do that. This does have that capability. Touchpad for easy menu navigation, that's also another aspect. It's like, think of it this way, you are using the motion control, drone is in the air, how do you navigate the menus in your head or field of view? Touchpad, it has touchpad, you can see that. Come on GIF, come on, you can see all the menus are there, that touchpad. Like somebody thought of it. It's like, how the heck you gonna use it? Your one hand is occupied, you have touchpad. That's awesome. And it what in terms of the technology, it is using micro OLED. Now this display that you are seeing is also OLED, but if I'm this close to it, I can see pixels. So imagine it's like, if something is this close to you, you will have hard time not seeing pixel door effect even on OLED. So they have to make micro OLED. It's a bit more expensive. It does a 1080p. Now you have to understand that it does slow down the frequency response rate, refresh rate to 100 hertz compared to the old variant which had around 144. Now you're like, why the heck they did that? Well, the resolution was lower. That was like around 800p, 810p. So I think from a data point of view, it may be exactly the same. Data pipe would be exactly the same. But they're everybody who's using it, they're saying because of the OLED's contrast, it's actually far more efficient, as in like you can like, okay, I'm seeing things, I am understanding what I'm seeing things. So having that, again, 60 hertz would be too low, having 100 was good enough. Like what else were you expecting? Like again, it has to deal with battery constraint, it has to deal with being lightweight, it has to fit inside a budget. So all things considered, that's not that big of a compromise. And everybody who's using it, it's like, dude, it's much better. Not because like it is fastest, lowest response time and all that jazz. No, it's simply because you can see things. Like there are many LCDs, gaming LCDs, that are like ludicrously high refresh rate, but it's like smeary mess. So that's why this micro OLED is a desirable thing for many people. But again, if you're not happy with this, goggles too, you can go back to FPV goggles version 2. Who came up with this name? So that's the whole idea. This is the basically star of the show. Really good design, really good thought put into it. Like even the battery for this goggles, it has a clip, because they know for a fact that if you are moving around things, battery clip USB-C can pop out of it. So having a clip there, that makes it far more intentional. Like you have to actually unhook it. So somebody thought of it. That's what I'm happy about DJI. It's not like latest and greatest, the most amazing technology ever. It's like, no, can you use the goddamn technology without pulling your hair out? Awesome. Now let's understand the ecosystem aspect of it. They know for a fact that when you are talking about drones, you are talking about batteries, lots of batteries. So they have a kit, DJI Avata Fly More kit. Now this kit is very smartly built, and I truly wish any camera company will look at it and it's like, that's how you're supposed to do it properly. So it has 4 battery chargers, like this slider is 4 battery charger, and it gives you 2 battery. That means if you buy this kit plus the drone, you will have 3 batteries and ability to charge 4 battery. Now here's the deal. This runs on USB-C. Finally, to this day, you will be very lucky to find any charger from Nikon or Canon or even from Sony. Like the battery system, they have their own system. It's like, why just use USB-C? And this USB-C is not proprietary. It's power delivery. It just have to be 65 watt. And if you plug a smaller one, it will just charge slowly. But again, that's on you. It's like, it does require power delivery, which is open standard. You can use USB-C 65 watt. They also sell you a car charger if you are moving about. So really awesome. And the way it charges, it's very smart. It charges the basically least discharge battery first. Now like, why the heck that will do that? Well, think of this. So who is buying this? Person who wants to stay in air as long as possible. So what's the biggest stupid thing you can do. You can try to waste energy on a battery that is fully depleted versus a battery, let's say, that's only 70% depleted. 70% depleted battery will charge up much quicker. So if you are focusing all the energy on that system, it has the ability to like top this puppy up ready to go very quickly, and then it's like, okay, now I'm there. So meaning you pull out your battery from the drone, put it here, takes a fresh one out, and if there was like 2 more batteries, again you will have 3 batteries if you are buying the kit. It's like, okay, which battery will charge up quickly? So that gives you a very quick turnaround. It's like somebody thought of it. It's like, what do you want? If you are buying this, you want quick turnaround, let's focus on that. If you have one even more battery, you don't even have to look at it. It's like all of them have LED indicator to show what is the state of charge, but it can talk intelligently and be like, this cell requires a lot of love, let's stop it. This side requires very little, let's give it, charge it, ready to go, awesome, then take care of the one that is deep discharge. It's like somebody thought of it. And it has very good backwards compatibility in the world of like Apple, like literally fighting with USB-C alliance. It's really good to see, like they are not just like lol, you buy everything new. That's really good. It does have 20 GB onboard storage. I'm pretty sure it's 30 GB chip, and majority of it is used for the memory systems, basically subsystem operating system of the drone. It does have SD card, but be very mindful. This is one common complaint everybody is having, is that SD card door is on the bottom flap inside the propeller, meaning and the propeller are, because it's a 5-bladed propeller, you have to move it in such a way that you have to plonk it out. It's very annoying. It will annoy you. For again, if you are a person who has like any bit of patience, you don't have to do it regularly, you will be happy with it. But if you have to do it regularly, you may get annoyed. So that is one thing that you have to understand. And be mindful, because of the location of that, if you're like, hey, what if I just pull out that door and let it be open, be mindful, wind flow is there, so you may end up causing drag on the system. Again, you will not notice it because the AI in the system will compensate for it. The board is designed in such a way that it will compensate, hey, this motor is not producing as much thrust as I think I should get, so it will increase the power. But again, that's why do not just plonk the door out and throw it away. You may be tempted to do so, but thou shall not do it. And these are using pusher motor configuration. Now pusher motor configurations does allow for compact footprint if you have compared to pull. That's why motor is pointing downwards. It is very compact, and that's many desirable aspect of our many people. It's like, dude, just plonk a battery in, take the drone out, have the goggles, which is also very compact, and just go for it. That's the whole idea of this ecosystem. And I'm genuinely happy that DJI is not just like going all out. They're like, what should what is needed in the market, what is the feedback from the public, they are focusing on that, and I'm really happy with that. I just wish somebody did this for batteries of Canon and Nikon and Sony. It's like, think of this, like somebody thought of it. It's like, what if you have just USB-C system? What if you use power delivery, which was designed to power around 250 watts at this point in time? So it's a really good system. So this was my presentation on basically DJI FPV drone. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show me extra disappointment. Please leave a comment because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free, and as always, thanks for watching.